On bear spray attacks, will Saskatoon's toughened approach work? Reigniting the debate over rent control, will Saskatchewan look at limiting how much landlords can charge? And catching contraband in prison, the troubling trend at Saskatchewan Penitentiary.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the city's latest move to curb the number of bear spray attacks in Saskatoon. John Flatters now on changes being made and whether residents and businesses feel it's enough.
On Wednesday, City Council approved changes to the business license bylaw in the hopes of reducing the skyrocketing number of bear spray incidents.
What the city can do is a bylaw. And what this will do is, as you pointed out, have some requirements and some ability to follow when bear spray is used illegally. You know, where was it purchased? Who was the purchaser? To be able to hold people accountable.
Key changes include a mandatory buyer registry with a record of the buyer and seller's information, an age restriction of 18 years or older, storing the product out of view, and enforcement for non-compliant businesses. Block says it's an idea that came from the Saskatoon Police Service.
Based on the numbers that we are seeing, I don't know that they consulted directly with businesses, and no businesses came directly to council to speak to it at all. But it would be a surprise to me, based on what we're seeing in our city, if this isn't one that we can all agree on.
The city says bear spray incidents have more than doubled in recent years, with a 500% increase in youth-related incidents since 2021.
We've received many stories and incidents reports from businesses such as retail, restaurant, as well as in the transit mall area that were, reported to certain city councillors and also to police.
Nelson says it's a good first step towards reducing bear spray incidents in the city.
There's not a lot of bears in Saskatoon, so, when I look at that, it's like which retailer should be actually selling it, and it should be coming from a credible source.
Block says while the city can enforce these bylaws, it won't do much without the province following suit.
So that when somebody is going to purchase bear spray, all of the same rules apply. Because if the rules are different in Saskatoon than they are in Martensville, then it's not going to help.
The new bylaw took effect Wednesday. John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A new provincial law to protect communities against street weapons will take effect tomorrow. It will now be illegal to carry knives, bear spray, and hypodermic needles without appropriate reason. Wayne Mantika reports.
Business owners in downtown Moose Jaw don't know what to think when someone walks by with a knife.
It's Saskatchewan, you get a lot of hunters farming and so on, so, a pocket knife is one thing. I think this stuff is aimed more at, I think a guy walking down the street with a machete probably deserves to have a few questions.
Police will now be able to ask those questions and seize items like knives, needles, and bear spray that are being carried without legitimate reason. A new provincial law comes into effect later this week.
What we're saying with this legislation is that when you're posing a threat to community safety, the police now have the ability to deal with that threat before a victim is ever created. And we don't want somebody to have to wait until there is a victim to allow the police to make a safer environment.
Police say incidents involving street weapons are increasing.
Criminal activity that if we can have something else in our toolbox to help us, it'll definitely help us to help with crime activity.
The law isn't being implemented across the board. Interested communities will have to pass a bylaw to opt in.
And I feel, I can't speak for council, but I would certainly, I certainly look forward to seeing the report and would imagine that it would be a bylaw that will have no trouble being implemented and passed, I would imagine.
The government acknowledges that not every municipality will want to opt into the program. In remote regions, carrying bear spray or a hatchet could be commonplace, and for good reason. The province says the legislation may be aimed more at populated urban centers. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Saskatoon police are investigating a death in the Riversdale neighborhood as suspicious. Officers were called just after 12:30 this morning to a house in the 300 block of Avenue J South for an injured person. They arrived to find the person dead. Investigators with the Major Crime Section are looking into the death. No other details have been released at this time. The death of a man in Prince Albert has been deemed a homicide. The victim has been identified as 39-year-old Wayne Keller. He was found dead Tuesday afternoon in the 1500 block of 5th Avenue East. So far, no one has been arrested in the case. Keller's death is the city's third homicide of 2025. Meanwhile, Prince Albert police also investigating the death of a person in the 500 block of 39th Street West. They were called just before 9 o'clock this morning. The victim has not been identified, but his autopsy is scheduled for next week. A 13-year-old has died following a dramatic crash in Regina earlier today. It happened at about 5:30 this morning in the north end of the city. Police say a convertible vehicle crashed into a power pole and rolled. The 13-year-old passenger was declared dead at the scene. A collision reconstruction team is investigating the crash, and charges are expected to be laid. And this was the scene this afternoon here in Saskatoon on Circle Drive near Lorne Avenue. A cube van went down the embankment, landing on its side. There's no word on what contributed to the crash or if anyone was injured. Police confirming tonight no charges have been laid after a Saskatoon garbage truck ran over a person's legs. Police were called yesterday morning to an alley behind the 800 block of 20th Street West between Avenue I South and Avenue H South. They found a man suffering from serious but non-life-threatening injuries to his legs. Police say the City of Saskatoon garbage truck was in the process of a pickup when the driver, who was making a left turn to go northbound in the alley, ran over the legs of a man laying in the alley. The driver stopped the truck and remained at the scene. Two sisters from the Atakakoop Cree Nation north of Saskatoon are pushing for answers tonight after their mother was found dead in a remote wooded area weeks after she went missing. Now they're urging anyone who knows what happened to come forward. CTV's Laura Woodward has the story.
She was more than just a victim.
Aisha and Lakeisha Henneque want to know how their mom died. On July 18th, 40-year-old Michelle Henneque was found in a wooded area west of Victor. According to her daughters, her body was wrapped in a tarp and left near a quad trail. The discovery came more than a month after she was reported missing.
I want the people who hurt her to be held responsible. The people who put her out there to be held responsible. The people who watched a search and never said anything to be held responsible.
RCMP say Michelle Henneque was last seen on June 5th on Big River First Nation. While searching for their mom on the First Nation, the sisters found a van with blood on it, alerting RCMP to the scene.
And then I said, "Did you see this handprint on the door?" They looked at it. And then that's when they made that call to major crimes.
Later, the family found what they believed to be a clump of their mother's hair, a distinct orange-red color.
Ends of it were all like frayed, kind of like it was ripped. That's how it looked.
And it was rolled up in a shirt?
Rolled up in a shirt, in a barrel, kind of hidden.
And that was inside the house she was last seen?
Outside, in the yard, yeah.
In an email to CTV News, RCMP say no further details can be shared as this is an active investigation.
My mom was such a funny, outgoing person.
They remember how their mom would tease them, that their little brother, her only son, was her favorite.
He was her favorite.
The sisters are entering their third year of education studies at the University of Saskatchewan, wishing their mom could attend their upcoming pinning ceremony.
Having her in the audience cheering for us, because she would always be the loudest one. She always made sure to remind us and tell us that we were the best parts of her.
Anyone with information about Michelle Henneque should contact RCMP. The family is offering a $5,000 reward for any tip that leads to an arrest. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
About 500 more people have been forced to flee their homes due to wildfires in northern Saskatchewan. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says people on the Clearwater River Dene Nation have been told to leave. Yesterday, the 1,000 residents of Pine House were also told to evacuate. It comes as a fire ban has been declared for areas north of the North Saskatchewan River within Prince Albert city limits. The ban applies to Hazeldale, Nordale, Little Red River Park, and all properties east of Little Red River Park to the city limits at Pulp Hall Road. No open fires are allowed in the listed areas. Gas barbecues, propane fire pits, and charcoal briquettes in approved fire pits are approved for cooking and heating. The ban goes into effect tomorrow morning at 8 and will remain in place until further notice. Saskatoon has activated its emergency response plan as temperatures heat up over the next few days. Soaring temperatures and wildfire smoke have prompted the Saskatoon Fire Department to activate the plan through the long weekend. Environment Canada is forecasting temperatures around 30 degrees over the next several days. That's on top of wildfire smoke continuing to affect air quality. The fire department has shared a list of cool down locations across the city, including spots offering free bottled water. Spray pad hours have also been extended from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. tomorrow through Monday. The fire department says extreme heat can cause serious negative health impacts and urges residents to take precautions to stay cool and hydrated. Stacey, finding ways to keep cool over the next few days is going to be important.
Yes, and we're in store for some pretty hot days ahead, Chantel, starting off August with temperatures in the 30s for many areas of the province. There's currently heat warnings in effect for many areas in Western Canada. Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC, parts of the territories all have heat warnings. Now, northern Saskatchewan, the seasonal highs would typically be around 22 to 23 degrees. And we're currently seeing temperatures in the 30s, but we are expecting a cool down starting Tuesday. I'll have more details on that later in the show.
The provincial NDP is reigniting the rent control conversation. A consultation process is planned leading up to the fall sitting of the legislature, aimed at making rent more affordable in the province. But as Carla Shinkaruk tells us, the Sask Party government says having a rent cap will actually do more harm to the rental market.
I want to be independent, so that's why I'm so upset about this.
Jean Carroll is 86 years old. Living on her own is becoming more difficult with a recent rent increase of more than $400 and another increase expected. She started a petition for rent control.
We'd like anybody in Saskatchewan to sign, and it's to introduce rent control in this province so that we'll be able to live here and not worry about where we're going to be next year because we can't afford to live.
Carroll is hoping to get about 1,000 signatures before the fall sitting of the legislature, where the opposition NDP is also planning to introduce a private member's bill to bring in rent control.
I will be speaking with key groups in the weeks and months ahead, including tenants, landlords, advocates, community-based housing organizations, subject matter experts, developers, and community planners.
Those public consultations are hoped to help get a better idea of what renters in Saskatchewan are facing. An online forum has been started by the NDP.
Their input will form the basis of legislation I intend to bring in the fall sitting. It really is time for rent control now.
Meanwhile, the minister in charge of housing, Terry Jensen, says they have no plans to introduce rent controls, saying it will suppress more building of much-needed spaces.
The more units you have, it actually controls prices because there's now competition for tenants. And by putting rent control in, it really stifles additional construction.
Rental Housing Saskatchewan CEO Landon Field echoes that.
Availability of units is directly correlated to affordability. So when there are more units available, more choice for renters and homeowners.
As for Carol, she's hoping the petition and the NDP initiative will make change for her and many others.
I would like to see anybody in this province come and sign our petitions. Something has to give.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The city says it will move forward with changes to College Drive after all as it moves ahead with its plans to implement Link Rapid Transit. City Council has approved removing the pedestrian overpass along College Drive. Instead, a street-level crosswalk will take its place. The crosswalk at Bottomley Avenue will also be removed, with the city saying it will improve traffic flow. Last month, councillors voted to explore options to keep the pedestrian overpass, but yesterday decided to move ahead with plans to remove it. Link is expected to launch citywide in 2028. New technology is causing new challenges for Saskatchewan Penitentiary. Jasmine Pelche reports on how the Correctional Service is adapting to ways criminals are doing drug drops these days.
Saskatchewan Penitentiary has seen some large-scale contraband seizures over the last few months.
When there's contraband in the prison, especially drugs, inmates are in a condition other than normal. They're intoxicated, and they do respond differently than a person who is sober, not under the influence. So there's increased violence amongst the inmate population, but also violence towards our officers.
Union of Canadian Correctional Officers Regional Vice President Chase Mayer says just under $1 million worth of contraband was seized at the pen in 2024. 2025 has already seen over $969,000 worth of contraband seized.
A lot of it did come from packages that were seized in places like exercise yards, which, you know, there's only two ways that really a package is going to get there. It's either being thrown over the fence or if a drone is flying over and dropping it.
Mayor says they are seeing more instances of contraband entering federal prisons by drone.
A lot of these facilities, these penitentiaries and institutions were built a long time ago, and the perimeter fences and walls can only do so much.
In a statement to CTV, the Correctional Service of Canada says it's adopting infrastructure enhancements and new technologies to combat the threat of drones, including intrusion detection systems. The statement goes on to say that in October 2024, regulations governing the use of body scanners came into force, and the Correctional Service of Canada is working on the deployment of these systems. In March, it was announced that the Correctional Service of Canada will have an exemption to use radio frequency jammers in institutions to prevent unauthorized communications and contraband deliveries. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
A new affordable housing complex is now open in the Riversdale neighborhood. The fourplex in the 500 block of Avenue H South features 2 accessible one-bedroom units and 2 bachelor units, allowing 4 people to rent the suites through the Saskatoon Housing Authority. The new complex is funded by the provincial and federal governments, who jointly contributed $1.1 million. Exciting times have begun in Saskatoon. The Midway opened at noon today at the Saskatoon X. Along with the food, the fun, and the entertainment, safety measures are also in place, including metal detectors and bag checks at all entrances. Free sunscreen is also being offered by Sunny and Safe Saskatchewan. It's a student-led initiative founded by U of S medical students to promote sun safety. There's also a walk-through water mister and 4 complimentary water refill stations. Still to come, it's deadline day for a Canada-U.S. trade deal. And the summer of summer continues as the Canadian swimming star keeps winning. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. We are just hours away from the deadline for Canada and the U.S. to reach a trade deal. The president spent the day signing new executive orders, including for Canada to face a 35% tariff. That's unless the 2 countries agree to a deal. Canada could also land an extension like Mexico did today. CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports.
U.S. President Donald Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced today a 90-day extension to negotiate a new deal on tariffs. Canada doesn't have a deal yet, and there is no indication so far we'll get the same extension.
We haven't spoken to Canada today. He's called, and we'll see. But we have made a few deals today that are excellent deals for the country.
A similar agreement would, of course, help Canada, though. Experts have said the Carney government shouldn't be rushing to get a deal done, as the CUSMA deal already in place gives Canada a better starting point than most. And today, a sign of encouragement for Canada's aluminum sector. In the wake of Ford Motor Company reporting a substantial hit from tariffs, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told CNBC today that Ford relies heavily on aluminum, and Washington will take that into account at the negotiating table.
I believe that the Ford F-150, 250, their big truck series is made out of aluminum instead of steel, which is different than other cars. So I think maybe the aluminum tariffs have hit them harder. We will be negotiating with Canada on those.
As it stands, Canada faces an increased tariff of 35% on goods not covered under CUSMA as of tomorrow. Now, most countries that have so far landed a tariff deal with Trump have faced a baseline lower tariff of 15% across the board. Some experts have suggested if Canada can get the same, but only on non-CUSMA products, it would be seen as a win. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump linked Canada's pledge to recognize Palestinian statehood with the ongoing trade negotiations. Canada's announcement yesterday has already received a range of reactions elsewhere, too. Abigail Beeman on Canada's diplomatic move and the timing of that decision.
News Canada intends to recognize Palestinian statehood lands with hope on the streets of Gaza. This teacher thanks Canada and feels the world is beginning to wake up.
The level of human suffering in Gaza is intolerable, and it's rapidly deteriorating.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister posted this photo saying Canadian aid is beginning to enter Gaza and thanking Jordan for facilitating an airdrop. Fighting over what falls, Gazans say airdropped food is like a dog chasing a bone. The U.S.'s special envoy landed in Jerusalem, while the president mixed foreign policy and trade, posting in the middle of the night, Canada's decision will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, apostrophe, Canada.
This is just Trump trying to use yet another tactic to put pressure on Canada. And I'm frankly very proud that the Prime Minister and his government made that decision, even though no doubt somebody was telling them that this could impact the trade negotiations.
I think the government is putting the cart before the horse here.
The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs is concerned the government didn't tie its conditions to the release of hostages or the immediate removal of Hamas, worried it will embolden the terrorist group.
Conceivably, we're going to have Canada recognize a Palestinian state where Gaza is still under the control of Hamas, and innocent Israelis are still being held hostages in the terror dungeons of Gaza.
CJA says there is increased fear and concern in the Canadian Jewish community in the wake of the government's decision, fear of even more anti-Jewish hate and attacks. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canadian swimming superstar Summer McIntosh has won her third gold medal at the World Aquatic Championships in Singapore. The 18-year-old is on a quest to win 5 golds at the event, matching a record set by the legendary Michael Phelps. John Venavelli-Rao has more.
Summer McIntosh looking for gold medal number 3.
As the swimming sensation made her way to the pool, half a world away in her hometown, these young swimmers gathered to watch.
She's in there. She's ready to race, so hoping for the best. I think she'll do well.
And sure enough, McIntosh didn't disappoint.
Look at McIntosh go.
Winning the 200-meter butterfly and missing the world record by just 0.2 of a second. Visibly frustrated by that.
I didn't reach my goal tonight, but happy with the gold, happy with the win, and just going to keep pushing forward.
McIntosh is looking strong.
Already, she's won 3 golds in individual events and has her sights on scooping up 5 at a single World Swimming Championship, a feat that's only ever been pulled off by megastar Michael Phelps.
Crazy. She's like a literal machine. Pretty cool.
Here she comes.
Just last month at the Canadian Swimming Trials in BC, McIntosh set 3 world records. And she's also a 3-time Olympic champion and inspiring the next generation of swimmers.
Her accomplishments are Canadians' accomplishments. Like, it means everything to her and everything to us. She's truly one of a kind, just to see how she just seems to glide on top of the water.
Isn't she amazing? If all goes well, she'll try for that next gold on Saturday, competing in the 800-meter freestyle, a highly anticipated event because she'll go up against Katie Ledecky, the current world record holder.
This is going to be like the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup of swimming this summer. This event is going to be epic. It's the one that a lot of people are really looking forward to watching.
And if she wins on Saturday, she'll go for that 5th goal on Sunday, competing in the 400-meter individual medley. John Venavelli-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
I'm Eusebius.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Piper. And we're here to share what some Saskatchewan locals had to say when asked how to describe failure.
Failure?
Oh, that is a hard question.
Come see us answer that hard question in That's Life,
a new local production presented by Beautiful Minds Theatre as part of the 2025 Saskatoon Fringe Festival.
Running from July 31st to August 9th in the Cosmo venue.
So, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, some good news for you guys. When doors open tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we're going to see a nice temperature around 23. It's going to be partly cloudy, so not too bad. And again, that's at the Cosmo Center. Doors open at 9. And for more information, you can head to 25thstreettheatre.org. Taking a look at current temperatures right now, Saskatoon 25, Prince Albert 24 in the Battleford, some sun, and 25 as well. Very mild winds there. Our high today 26, our low 11, pretty on par with our seasonal highs and lows. Now the record high was 37. That was set in 1930, and our record low was 4, set in 1972. Now the sun went up at 5:26 a.m. and it will go down just before 9 p.m.
Coming up is one of the biggest music stars in the world coming to our province. Why some new song lyrics have Saskatchewan music fans buzzing.
Welcome back. Well, our latest crop report says many farmers across the province are hoping for rain. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that in our immediate forecast. Pretty much across the province, we're in store for some pretty warm weather, especially heading into that long weekend. Temperatures around that 30-degree mark, so it's going to be quite hot. We will start to see a cool down. I'll talk about that in a second here. There's this low pressure system on the west coast. It's been hanging around for a few days. That's kind of causing a ridge of high pressure, which is responsible for that heat up that we've seen over the past few days. Eventually, that's going to make its way east, and we're going to start to see that hot weather kind of flush out. We'll start to see that cool down. I'll show you that in our 7-day forecast later on. We're also seeing some precipitation in northern Saskatchewan, risk of thunderstorm, especially for Buffalo Narrows and for La Ronge. So we're keeping our eye on that. Currently in Saskatoon, 25, 24 in Prince Albert, 25 in the Battlefords, and sunny. Our hot spot today, once again, Buffalo Narrows at 32, Collins Bay, our cold spot at 5. Currently, it's 24 in Estevan and Yorkton, 24 in Prince Albert as well, 25 in Kindersley, 24 in Rosetown, 26 in Watrous. Temperatures in that mid 20-degree mark. Meadow Lake slightly hotter at 28. As we move up north again, this is where our heat warnings are in effect. For their seasonal highs would be about 22 to 23, and right now we're seeing temperatures around that 30-degree mark, so quite a bit hotter than what they're used to. Down south, temperatures kind of range here. Indian Head 23, but things heat up in Maple Creek at 27, so temperatures in the mid-20s pretty much across the board there. Taking a look at our future cast, pretty clear sky for tomorrow. A bit of rain in southern Saskatchewan, areas like Swift Current and Regina. They're going to see a bit of rain. It's about 1 millimeter of rain, so nothing significant. Also, our isobars indicating some light winds tomorrow. La Ronge 30, Stony Rapids, Buffalo Narrows, Key Lake seeing mainly sunny conditions and temperatures around that 30-degree mark. Meadow Lake, Spiritwood, Kindersley, Rosetown, all seeing sun, temperatures around 30. This is going to be a pattern that continues. Maple Creek seeing a risk of thunderstorms. Again, that's from that system that we just saw in our future cast. Sunny in Leader, Outlook, and Swift Current there. Temperatures just below 30 degrees. And again, it's going to be a hot day tomorrow for southeast Saskatchewan as well. Yorkton, Regina, Moose Jaw, it's going to be quite hot. Estevan, you're going to get some smoke. The air quality index is quite high for the area tomorrow. Just keep that in mind. It might be a little bit smoky. Melfort, Watrous, Humboldt, it's going to be hot and sunny. Pretty much our theme across the province. In the Battlefords tonight, clear, hazy, a low of 11. Tomorrow, sunny. And no surprise there, 29. Heading into that long weekend, we're going to see temperatures in the 30s. It's going to be quite hot. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to see a slight cool down, a high of 26, 25, and a bit of rain, some storm activity there. Prince Albert, it's going to be a little bit smoky there tonight. Clear sky, a low of 12 tomorrow. Sunny, the air quality is going to be considered moderate. And again, temperatures really heat up. Then when that ridge of high pressure starts to break down on that Monday, Tuesday, we'll really start to see those temperatures cool down. And for Saskatoon tonight, a low of 12. We'll see a little bit of that wildfire smoke linger around. Tomorrow, it's going to be 30 and mainly sunny. And then looking at our long weekend, if you're heading to the exhibition, it's going to be hot. Make sure you prepare a high of 30 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, slightly cooler, 1 degree, still pretty hot. And then things don't really cool off until Tuesday.
You should know that when I come out to do a show, I don't really think of it as a show. I think of it more as like we are on a first date right now. But like better than a first date because we know exactly when this date is going to end. So.
That's Martin Dockery. His newest show, One Small Lie, is an hour of storytelling filled with humor, horror, and suspense. It's one of many acts at the Fringe Festival, running now through August 9th in the Broadway area. Country duo High Valley takes the stage at the Saskatoon Exhibition Grandstand tomorrow night at 8:30. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. Smash Mouth will also rock the grandstand Monday evening. The concerts are included with general admission. The exhibition runs through August 7th.
We are very busy running a social media empire.
Golden Girls The Laughs continue stops in Saskatoon tomorrow night. Miami's sassiest seniors bring the banter to TCU Place at 7 p.m.
I know that you're gone and it isn't right, but you're still there. You're still there.
Larry Krause is one of many bringing rhythm and roots to the Hillbilly Boogie in the Kenaston area this weekend. The music festival wraps up Sunday.
What doth our cousin lay to Mowbray's charge? It must be great that can inherit us, so much as of a thought of ill in him.
Classic Tales takes center stage at Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. Catch the tragedy of Richard II and a retro twist on a classic, A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1985. The festival runs through August 24th.
All right, Stacey, time for Pick of the Day. What do you have today?
We have all the recipes for a perfect Pick of the Day segment. Let's take a look. So first off, we have this one sent in from Bob Forward. Bob captured these photos after a storm passed. You know, you can kind of see the lovely contrast, the bright yellow canola field and the dark storm clouds make the perfect kind of piece. You know, maybe an artist could paint that up. Perfect embodiment of Saskatchewan. Again, the bright yellow canola fields and the storm clouds. But luckily, we won't see any storm clouds really in the next several days, at least according to my forecast. Next, we have a photo from Jeff. He sent us a photo of his cat, Spirit. Now, he says Spirit's birthday is in early August. She's a rescue. Well, happy early birthday, Spirit. My birthday is also in early August. Maybe we have the same birthday. August 8th, maybe. Anyways, he says these are the formal portrait didn't go as well, but she wasn't really into it. But she says some of the other photos went well. And I don't know, Jeff. I think Spirit's pretty photogenic. Maybe you could try out some modeling, be on the photo of some cat treats. Who knows? Well, keep us updated on Spirit's adventures. And if you want to send in a photo, you can do so at cfqcnews@ctv.ca.
Still to come on CTV News, the dynamic duo helping the riders reach new heights. But up next is the Pink Pony Club coming to Saskatchewan. Regina-based media company got an email with Chapel Roan in the subject line. It was an unexpected but welcome surprise. Jacob Carr has more on the viral lyric by the pop star that has the province of Saskatchewan buzzing.
This Regina's own Captive Media shot that teaser clip featuring Chapel Roan's lyric about moving to Saskatchewan. It's from her new song, The Subway, which officially drops at 6 p.m. on Thursday with a music video to follow on Friday morning. Roan's representatives reached out to the agency about filming some Saskatchewan-based iPhone footage to help promote the single.
We took it back to the team and we're like, we need to do more with this and give them the best that we possibly can. So yeah, it was pretty exciting and the whole team was really revved up about it.
Including David Senthavong, a recent hire at Captive.
It's something you don't really come across of it like that often, especially with such a well-renowned artist around the world saying Saskatchewan in her song and also saying it correctly, which is great.
The lyric also has others itching for Roan to come to the prairies. The NDP's Nathaniel Teed even penning a letter to her team.
We really just thought this was such a great moment to bring someone with such an international scope to Saskatchewan. She says she wants to move here. We'll help her buy the house. We'll show her around. We'll show her what Saskatchewan folks are made of.
Tourism Saskatchewan is also capitalizing on the moment, pairing up local landmarks with some of the pop stars' songs.
Just in the last few days, we've had over 230 new mentions in the social media world, and almost 40,000 new social interactions. So that's a lot of people thinking about Saskatchewan, a place they may never have heard of before, Googling what's a Saskatchewan.
In a 2024 Nardwar interview, Roan mentioned that she owes it to the people of Saskatchewan to play a show in the province. Time will tell if the Midwest princess from Missouri will make a stop in the land of living skies. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
When we come back, a look at why the riders keep rolling and another sign there could be fireworks between two surprising celebrities.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at our rural forecast. Not much of a surprise here. Pretty consistent with what we've been seeing over the past few days. Clear sky, sun, temperatures gradually warming up. Tomorrow we're going to see some pretty warm temperatures throughout. Hudson Bay 31, same with Meadow Lake, Spiritwood 29. Now those areas, typically the seasonal high would be about 24, 25 degrees, so quite a bit warmer than seasonal, and pretty much across the board, sunny or mainly sunny temperatures around that 30-degree mark. Maple Creek seeing a bit of rain and thunderstorm risk tomorrow. A high of 28. They're expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 millimeters of rain. Nothing significant, but that area obviously I'm sure takes what it can get. Obviously they've dealt with some drought in the past summer for sure. So some rain might be welcome there. Anyways, again, temperatures across the board around that 30-degree mark. Pretty sunny. Almost a boring forecast, to be honest. It's pretty straightforward. Taking a closer look at Hepburn, a high of 28 tomorrow. Again, sunny and very mild winds coming from the southeast at 10 kilometers an hour. Now, it's also where you can get internet plans from SaskTel up to 1 gigabyte.
The Kinsman Club of Prince Albert is committing over $500,000 towards sports and leisure in the Gateway City. It's pledged $450,000 to the new Lake Country Co-op Leisure Center. In recognition of the donation, the new leisure center wave pool will be named the Kinsman Wave Pool. A dressing room door will read Kinsman Club of Prince Albert on the side of the arena facility. The club is also donating another $100,000 to a new lift at the Kinsman Ski and Snowboard Center in Little Red River Park.
We're always, as a club, looking to participate in everything that's good in the community, and this new facility is a wonderful addition, and we wanted to make sure we were part of it in a very big way.
The Leisure Center is now open to the public, but the aquatic facility is still undergoing some finishing touches. The Kinsman Club plans on raising the money for the donations through the upcoming fundraisers. The province is aligning regulations with the federal government around flooding and disaster relief. The government of Saskatchewan says regulations in the Planning and Development Act will be aligned with the Federal Disaster Financial Assistance Program to adopt guidelines of a 1 in 200-year flood elevation standard. The Reeve of the RM of Corman Park says it will help municipalities plan development within flood fringe areas. The Saskatchewan Realtors Association says ensuring alignment on flood protection allows property owners and municipalities maximized growth potential. Sporadic showers weren't enough to help the soil moisture situation across much of the province last week. Most crops are in fair to good shape. The lowest rated crops are in the southwest, northwest, and parts of the northeast where dry conditions continue. Haying operations are winding down with most hay crops rated fair or higher. Producers are hoping for more rain to help with head and pod filling, but some later stage crops won't see the benefit with harvest around the corner. Atlas Holdings has completed its buyout of Avraz North America, which includes control over the Regina steel plant. The Regina facility will fall under the umbrella of newly formed Orion Steel and will be locally known as Interpro Pipe and Steel, along with the other former Avraz facilities in Alberta. A former executive with U.S. Steel has been appointed CEO of Orion Steel, while the outgoing CEO of Avraz North America will remain on the new company's board. Atlas Holdings is based in Greenwich, Connecticut. The Saskatchewan Roughriders continue to roll thanks in large part to their efficient offense. The team says it's a tight-knit locker room led by its backfield of quarterback Trevor Harris and running back AJ Ouellette.
Congrats on the win, Trev. Thanks, crew.
This post-game celebration has become a tradition for the duo since becoming teammates at the start of last season. Their connection on and off the field has grown. Both players are from Ohio and often travel to Saskatchewan together.
Just pay attention this week. I'm going to fold him, man. Don't tell him, but I love that guy, man. He's awesome. He's just one of my great buddies here. And, I think we're just wired the same. We're both from, hour and a half away. We grew small town guys, small town football. He went to a super small high school, and I did as well.
It's just easy for us to just go into running back room, quarterback room, just talk football. And that just allows us to be on the same page when we're out there on game day. Even if we got to draw some stuff up in the dirt out there, we're able to do that.
Ouellette says he hopes he's able to continue what's become a new winning ritual at every Riders game. Coming up, romance rumors keep swirling. Then a Guinness record that could only be set by a Canadian.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV starting at 7 with The Big Bang Theory. Well, this could be another sign there could be fireworks between former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and pop star Katy Perry. Trudeau spotted standing near the stage, seemingly enjoying Perry's concert in Montreal last night. Earlier this week, the two were seen sharing dinner at a high-end restaurant in the city. Perry's next concert is tomorrow night in Quebec City. Many people are wondering if Justin Trudeau will be there. Guess we'll see. I'm sure all the fans will be watching for us. Yeah. All right, before we go, a Canadian successfully knocked back a few cold ones on his way to setting a new world record.
Runner set, jog! Ran there quickly.
Ontario's Corey Belmore won his 5th straight Beer Mile World Classic, breaking his own record. He drank 4 beers and ran 4 laps in a time of 4 minutes and 27 seconds. I didn't even know there was a thing like this.
Maybe it will be an Olympic sport one day.
You never know.
I bet someone from Saskatchewan could easily beat that record.
It's quite possible. I'm sure they'll try.
Yes.
Not this weekend, though. It's going to be too hot for that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's looking pretty warm, as I've been saying over the past few days. Starting off the morning at 21, sunny. Around noon, it's going to be 25. And then in the evening, 28, ending off your work week with some nice weather there.
And I know even you were talking about Tuesday, it's cooling down, but it's really, it's
about mid-20s still, so.
Yeah, so quite warm.
Yeah.
All right, that is our show. We're back at 11:30. Thanks for watching.